All right, welcome back to Whiskey Wisdom. Today we have Valerie Gonzalez on the podcast, our first woman on the podcast. So welcome, Val.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
Truly an honor. So I'm excited.
Excited to see the conversations, Dave. For sure.
I know. Normally our conversations are short because I don't know what's going on at the moment. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm excited.
We'll make it happen. So for a quick introduction for everyone, how we'll start this off. First 30 minutes or so, we'll be drinking some whiskey, getting some liquid libation in us as we go through. Today we're playing Truth or Drink on the Rocks deck. So we'll be chatting a little bit, reminiscing, talking some stories. And then after that, we'll go ahead and jump into your questions from the Ask Reddit forum. All righty. Well, would you be our guest and start the first card off as I open up the whiskey?
Yes, of course. Okay, let's see. Says, what movie title describes your last relationship?
Ooh.
What movie can we describe that it was like the worst decision of your life?
The worst decision of your life.
I can't think of a movie at the moment, but I believe there's a movie called That One, so I'm gonna go with that.
Now, all right. Here's a little start for you.
Thank you.
Ice. I'm terrible with thinking
of. What about you?
Yeah, I'm terrible with thinking of like movie titles to correlate with stuff. You always see some cards or questions that are like that. The only one that comes to mind right now is Endgame. Good old Avengers Endgame. Okay. I don't know why, just that title. I roll with that. I roll with that one. All right.
I agree. I couldn't think of any at the moment.
I know. Movie titles are hard to come up with, at least for me on the spot. Movie quotes too. Like if I'm chatting with someone, like trying to think of a quote from a movie, or someone asks you to quote something from your favorite movie, my mind just goes blank.
See, I'm the same way. I'm good with music though. When it comes to music, I could
if you had to do a music title, what would your music title
be? What's the one from her Ashanti? Oh my God, what was that song? Not Happy, but her other one. Her other famous one. Oh my goodness, it's not coming to me, but she sings. It's
one
by
from like
Ashanti.
the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
I know what you're getting at. I can't think of it.
I can't think of it right now too, but I know that song clicked in my head, and I could sing it to you, but I'm not going to do that today. However,
I got you.
It was there.
We'll expose the same voice. Mine is terrible too. If we ever go to karaoke, I have to have.
I have to have
full bottle.
Yeah, 100%. That liquid courage has to be in me fully.
For sure.
So no.
For sure. Do you want to cheers? Start off before you mix yours
cheers.
up? There you go. Welcome.
Thank you. Oh, actually, that's still really smooth. Oh my God.
Shout out to Pendleton Whiskey. That's hitting out for you, buddy. All right. Ooh, it's interesting. If you discover you'll die today, what would be your biggest regret?
Are you asking me, or are you going to answer that first?
You can answer first.
I'm going to answer. Okay. That I wasn't more honest with myself.
Ooh, okay. Do you want to dive into that?
Yeah, in a lot of aspects. And I'm talking about like career, talking about relationships, even my family.
Okay.
Because even more so, like I had always been to my family. Bless you. I've always had to be the person that had to get it done, always done. So I feel like for me to be honest with myself, that I could be like, you're okay, relax, you're chill, like, and even like I've always been a people pleaser. Okay. So I think being honest with myself that I don't need to always be, and I am learning that now. So I wish I could have done it sooner. If that was the case, if I was gonna die today and that was my regret.
Okay. Okay.
What about you?
Thank you for sharing that. I think for me, biggest regret would be the lack of legacy that I would be leaving. Okay. Right. Okay. So, again, don't have kids or anything like that. I try and make as many good impressions with people as possible, but I think, ultimately being, a better influence in the community and especially with like friends, kids and things like that growing up, I always want to leave like the best possible impression or leave something that, helps them be better than what I could possibly be. Right. Okay, like kind of passing it down to the next generation. I just feel like I haven't done enough to do that quite yet. So that'd be something that I would want to, if I were to die today, that would be the biggest regret on that side. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy though? That once we're getting older, we have like that mentality, like I haven't done enough yet.
Yeah.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like, for me, it's not as much like experiences, right? Like, if, you know, been blessed enough to have a lot of different experiences and travel and stuff, but leaving like an actual legacy, not just what I've experienced, but what my experience can help others, you know, improve in their own well-being. So
well, hopefully you have a very long life to be able to do so.
That's the goal.
That's
the goal. All right, you got next.
I'll be very honest. I'm very surprised that I could drink this without you out right now. So
proud of you.
I'm very proud of myself too. What's the meanest thing you've seen me do?
Ooh, meanest thing. Dang, let's see. I haven't seen you throw any drinks yet. Haven't. I don't know. Meanest thing. I mean, you've been pretty solid. You know, like at all experiences out drinking and everything like that. You've been pretty solid. So I can't think of anything in particular. Like maybe some, you know, arguments, debates back and forth, but
no, I could agree on that one.
you know, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. What about me?
Truthfully, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I think you have always been like the light of the room and stuff like that.
Really?
As far, I mean, around me, okay?
Fair.
So I've never seen you come like be like combative or any, even when we're drinking. But then again, I might be drunk with you, so I don't know if that's the reason why. However, no, I don't think you've ever been like confrontational in front of me, being rude to anyone. So I honestly, truthfully, I don't think you're that type of person. Maybe I haven't caught you on a day.
That's
so
fair. That's right. I mean, the biggest thing I think for me, and I think as all men should be, is like when we're, you know, with a group, or especially like a group of girls, like, you know, we never want to be the problem. We always want to be, you know, if there is a problem that's going on, we don't want to add to it. We want to either be part of the solution or help it out. But if I'm by myself and I don't have that feeling of like needing to protect people, then it's a little bit different. But like in a good group of people, I think, you know, as a man, we should be, you know, keeping the peace a little bit, right? And making sure everyone in our group and whoever's surrounding us is protected and feels safe, can be themselves.
So yeah, for sure. And I think I saw it too more when we had went out recently. Like I was even telling like my man, I was like, hey, he's like big brother. I was like, I love that. Like I was like, I feel protected right now. Perfect. It was great. That was such a fun night too. So
it was a good time.
It was good.
That's always the goal. Always the goal. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. Have you ever stolen anything? What and why? And do you still have it?
Anything materialistic? No. I've never. All my whole family is law enforcement, so I was very skeptical of like, oh my god, I'm gonna get caught. However, when I was a kid, we used to go into this very like Mexican store back in El Paso, and
Ranch Market.
No, surprisingly, actually, it's actually called Big 8. They changed it to Food City now. Like Food City. So it used to be called Big 8 when I was growing up. And my mom never liked to buy me candy. Okay. So the way they had this candy set up was like in barrels. So I would just like take handfuls and then put in my pocket, and then I would run to like a different aisle. And then I would get home. My mom would be like, "Where'd you get this candy from?" I was like, "You know what? I don't know. It just appeared out of nowhere."
Yeah, so, I bet I know what candy it was. It was those little strawberry kind of wrapper ones. Yes. Yeah, I know exactly the strawberry pineapple ones.
Exactly, the ones where your grandma finds in her pants. Yep, those are the ones. Or like any type of Mexican candy. Other than that, I really never had the need to want to steal anything. Honestly, I don't know. I'm the type of person that's not very materialistic in that aspect, so it kind of makes sense why I wouldn't want to. So. Right. What about you?
The only thing that comes to mind for me, because I'd feel guilty doing anything like that, but there was one time. It was my first trip to Vegas. I was in middle school or high school? I was pretty young. And we went out there. Went up with my best friend. His mom was getting married in Vegas, so we all drove down. And
nice. Okay.
it was so dry. I grew up in Oregon, right? So going from the climate in Oregon to going to Nevada, Vegas, super dry. My lips got super, super chapped, like terribly chapped, like cracky, like terrible. So I needed some chapstick. So we're at like we stop into a store that's on the strip. It's one of those little gift shops or whatever. And the chapstick was $7.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, "There's no shot I'm paying $7 for chapstick."
No.
So I did nab that. Throw that in the pocket.
I would have probably done that too.
Yeah.
Like $7, no, thank you.
Yeah, it was some bullshit for some chapstick. Hell no.
For chapstick?
Yeah.
That better be some chapstick coming from like an Oasis.
No,
like,
it was like the plain. It was just like the generic, chapstick that just wrapped with this Vegas on the sticker. It was like,
oh God,
it's terrible.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
No. Let's see. Our minds have traded bodies. What's the first thing you're going to do in my body?
I mean, come on. Need we say more? Need we say more?
I literally had the exact same thought, so I think I know exactly.
We give the audience a good. No, no, but aside from that, I think it would be interesting to live in the mind of a female, just to see like exactly what emotions and feelings, how that impacts you, right? Because I feel like that has a huge, like, way more, is much more impactful on your decisions in day-to-day life than it is for someone like me. So it'd be interesting to see like what it would be to be in your shoes with all the different emotions flying around, trying to make a decision on something. Like, I feel like that could be tough. So I'd be interested to see what that actually feels like.
For sure. Me, however, if I was to trade, I don't know. I feel like where is this? I know it's from a movie. Have you ever seen where they do like the helicopter?
Yeah. I mean, that's in plenty of movies.
Look, if you were to ask any woman, any
yeah,
woman that was going to trade their body for a male's body,
yeah,
every girl will have the exact same answer, and that would be it.
That's fair.
Only because we've seen it in movies,
so
it's like a given
type of
aspect. But like on more like on a serious note, I feel like it would be more in a sense to see in like in a male perspective, like once you are like you said something to actually be heard and not be repetitive on it. Because I feel, as far as like from what I have gone through and stuff, I've had to repeat myself multiple times in order for other people to listen. And I feel like when a male says it, immediately they understand what's being told. So I think to listen in that aspect would be kind of cool, just to turn the tables a little bit on that.
To kind of have like the automatic respect sort of feel.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I'm still gonna be stuck on my face out there.
All right. Describe your first real kiss, then describe your last kiss, the most recent one.
When we're talking about like real kiss, are we talking like our most absolute, like genuine, true kiss, or like our first kiss?
I mean, yeah, the first one with meaning to it, right? Because like, you're gonna have a kiss with like, your elementary, whatever, but like one that actually intended like to happen, I guess, would be a better description.
So, of course, I mean, you knew that I was married and all that, and now I'm divorced and everything. My first actual real kiss is with my man that I have now.
Oh, wow.
Because looking back at it, in a sense, I feel more so what I thought I had was actually what I thought was for me. And now that I actually have what is truly genuinely for me, our first actual kiss, meaningful for both me and him, was at Disneyland.
All right.
And it normally, whenever you feel like a kiss, it's like very anxious, like very stressful, like, oh my God, we're doing this.
Sure.
With him, it was more calm.
Okay.
It was calming. I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't stressed about it. And that's what scared me, that I was like, why am I not feeling anxious? Is this actually real? Is this happening?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, we're actually doing this. And given that he was one of my best friends, you know,
Right.
so that was one of my first real genuine kisses that I wasn't overthinking it.
Okay. Yep.
My last kiss happened last night. So I was like, we're affectionate, both me and
Sure,
him.
sure, sure.
So we're just there.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. For me, my um, first one was my freshman year of high school. I didn't have an actual girlfriend until my
Okay.
freshman year of high school. And so I remember we had gone out, I think it was to the movies. We'd gone out to the movies with her older sisters, her, and then myself, and then one of her sister's boyfriends as well. So we went as a group. And then they were dropping me back off at my house, and got out of the car for a little bit, had a hug, and then like leaned in, and just like in the movies, right? The spark, like you feel like crazy, like, oh, what just happened? Like it was great, right? First kiss. And then even like walked inside, my mom was like, "You're glowing." I was like, "What? What does that even mean? How do you know?" Like I didn't say anything. So that was the first one, and then the last one was this last weekend, hot tub. Good
Oh,
times,
okay,
good
okay.
times. Yeah,
Sounds like some really fun times. Love
yeah.
that.
Aside from Cortez cases, yeah.
This is, oh my goodness. Ooh, both these questions are actually really good. Okay. Should we have a funny one or should we have a deep one?
Ooh, let's go. Let's go deep.
Let's go
Let's
deep.
go deep.
Okay. Am I friends with anyone you can fully endorse? Is there anything you think I should consider about them?
Any of your friends that I fully endorse?
Endorse.
I mean, all the friends that I've met from your group so far have been awesome. Like always great times, like always, up for anything kind of
Mhm.
situation. So, yeah, I mean, keep making good decisions with the friends because everyone you brought around has been a great time. Like, yeah, yeah, good people,
Nice.
good people.
Love to hear that because it's rough out here for a girl to
Really?
get friends.
Yeah.
No, honestly, and even then, I have truly good friends, maybe two,
Mm.
if anything.
Mm-hmm.
While Mr. Socialized over here has different groups of
Sure,
friends,
sure.
So it's rough, especially for a girl, because sometimes it's just rough for it to be so simple in
Mm-hmm.
that aspect. So like
Yeah.
I love to hear that. I love that my friends are, and they're just like me too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for
It was funny. Before you asked for me, it was funny. We were playing pool, right, the other day, Ventura and I, and
mhm.
you girls were chatting at the table, like talking away, talking my stories and everything, and like we were already on our second game of pool. I turned to Ventura. I was like, I think we've said maybe two sentences to each other since we got here, and they're already divulging life stories over there, and we just laughed together for a
Oh
bit. And
God.
then again, that was like the last sentence we said. We just
Then you just went
it's
back to
just the
play.
nonverbal communication, like it's
Just
just
how it
man
is.
language, right?
Pretty much. You just gotta look at each other, nod, and then you're
Exactly,
done.
exactly. It's good.
For you, no. I can't say. Honestly, everyone that I have met on behalf of you and stuff like
Hmm.
that have always been so welcoming to
Hmm.
me. I don't think I've ever felt like excluded in any type of way.
Good, good.
So like, and I always tell him as well, like, you have such good friends. Like, they're so welcoming. Because let's be honest, I was freaking out at first, but
Yeah.
oh yeah, 100%.
In what way? How come?
Only because in my head, I had the idea that I had a picture in my head, and I
Okay.
thought you guys had a picture of me in my head,
Mm,
So I was overthinking
I see.
and stuff like that. So once you guys accepted me and welcomed me, and I was like, oh my God, they actually love me. I'm gonna go cry about it later,
Yeah.
So
Uh,
honestly, all of you, every one of you have always been so welcoming, and I truly appreciate that. So I
Absolutely.
can't say any as far as like for your friends.
All
Love them.
right. Well, cheers.
Cheers to
Cheers to
that.
good friends, eh?
Eh.
All right. Let's see. What's a habit, compulsion, or relationship you wish you could quit?
Mm, Biting my nails.
Yeah.
I am horrible at biting my nails because that's why I don't have nails.
Oh, really?
Because
Okay.
I could bite through them, and
Mm.
it's just a bad habit. Even like I will just catch myself and I'm like, oh, okay, no, we're not doing that. That's a habit that I don't. I've had it since I was a kid.
Okay.
I
Is it
wish I
like
didn't
rooted
have
like nervousness, like, or is it just kind of like just happens sort of thing?
It depends, because like being fully transparent, I'm a very anxious person. I don't know if you've ever noticed it or not, or I'm very good at composing myself for it, but I could be very, very anxious person.
Sure.
And when I'm anxious, I tend to not even notice I start biting my nails.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would be like, oh, okay. And that's when I'll catch myself like, okay, no, wait, hold on. You need to chill and stuff like that. So normally, like, it's pretty good. Like, I'm able to control it, I guess you could say. But that is a habit, like, I do not want, because I ain't gonna lie, my nails aren't the best. So that's something I do want to get rid of.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You?
Oh, that's a good question. I think for me, like the extracurriculars, if you will, right?
Okay.
Like going to that not too quick or not too often, but too quick.
Okay.
Like you know what? I want this night to go on forever. Like, and then I have a solution for it. I need to, kind of cut that down a little bit because that's not a sustainable life to live, right? So that's something I've been conscious of, lately, and have been trying to make an effort to throw it out, save it for, the good times that, it's going to be worth it, rather than just be like, oh, it's a Friday, let's go out and then like make the night last forever on purpose, right? Rather than be like, oh, it's going to be a birthday party, or this is going to be a good celebration. Like, it's going to be, longevity to it, rather than forcing the issues sort of thing. So I think that would be it for me.
Oh, yeah. And I fully understand, because it's sometimes when you're having a good time, you want it to keep on going. You want to keep on going, but when you grow into like a different type of mindset, you realize like, okay, where do we want to be in the tomorrow morning, So I get it fully.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay. When was the last time you lost your cool? What happened? And how do you feel about it now?
Last time I lost my cool. Last time that really comes to mind was again, inhibited. Had quite a few drinks in the system, and the bar lost my card, and like it was gone. I couldn't find it. Like the shift change or whatever. Like the card was just gone, missing. Which, looking back on it, I should have been happy, because then it's like, well, free drinks, I guess, for the rest of the night, right? But no, so I was upset, kind of caused an issue. I was like, all right, I'm out of here. And then as I'm leaving, there is like double pane glass right by the door. This is a club. There's like a huge line of people.
Okay.
It's like, fuck this place. Throw my hand into the glass, break my hand. Like right away. As soon as I made contact with it, I knew my hand was just destroyed. But again, there's this line of people that just watch this happen. So I couldn't be like, I'd be like,
you're like, gotta be mad about it.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's a taco truck right across the street. And so I'm like, all right, I need to go over there. So I like start making my way to the taco shop. And then like a group there's like a couple chicks came up. They're like, are you okay? Like, we just saw what happened. I was like, I'll be all right. I looked down at my hand. It was immediately just swollen like crazy. And so yeah, I broke my hand in a couple spots, and now I no longer have knuckles on this.
Oh my goodness!
So
no,
that was a good time. That was good. It was 2 weeks before going to Ibiza, so that was fun going around Ibiza with a little cast. Yep, that was a good time.
Okay.
What about you?
See, I'm not. For me, I don't like attention on me in that aspect. Only because when I was growing up, I used to party a lot with my older cousins. Okay. And they were the type to get in a fight. Every party we went to, anywhere we went, they knew me. They knew who I was with. They knew So I already knew, like, okay, I'm gonna have to break up a fight. I'm gonna have to do this for whatever. As far as like for me losing my cool, the only memory I could think of right now was I almost beat up my sister-in-law.
Oh shit. Let's
And
dive into that.
and for me to lose my cool, I'm a very patient person.
Mhm.
Like I am a truly very patient person. And I'm the type that, like, if I feel that the situation is kind of dumb, I'm not gonna put my energy in it. Always been like that. Always I've been in that aspect, even as an
Mhm.
adult. That's why, like, when, like, if girls ever approach me or anything, I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, it's always been like
Not
that.
worth it.
I have too much to lose to
Mhm.
get into something like
Good
that.
outlook, yeah.
The only time was I found out I was working and my best friend came to pick me up because my car had broken down at the time. I was, I don't know, maybe 20,
Okay.
19 at the time. And I was head of household. I was head of
Mhm.
household for a very long time for my mom and my brother
Okay.
and his son and his baby mama
Got
or
it.
my sister-in-law.
Yep.
And I, throughout my whole shift, I was finding out that my mom ended up getting admitted into the hospital. It was triggered by
Damn.
the both of them. Like it was just kept going. Like I kept going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, yeah.
So that night when my best friend picked me up, she told me, "Hey," she said, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Sure.
Got heated to the point where I saw red.
Mm.
Heated to the point where I legit, when I got home, I remember swinging the door open.
Mhm.
It took my best friend and my other friend holding me back to not beat her up,
Damn.
like to get her,
Yeah.
because I was done. Like I was
Yeah.
so fed up with it, and I'm little, like I'm little, and both of my friends are way taller than me,
Mhm.
way bigger than me, and they couldn't keep me. They couldn't keep
Mhm.
me down because I was so mad, and I
Yeah.
think that was the only time I've allowed myself to ever lose my cool like that.
Mhm.
And at that point, I just remember kicking them both out. I kept my nephew because I said, I'm taking care of him. You are
Mhm.
not. I kicked them both out of basically our house, my
Yeah.
mom's house.
Mhm.
And that was the only time I lost my cool. Ever
Okay.
since then, I don't think I've ever lost my cool.
How long ago was that?
Oof.
In a minute?
I'm 29, like 10 years.
10 years? Okay.
10
Yeah.
years in that aspect.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm a very patient person. I
Mhm.
think more so I'm a very understanding person.
Yeah.
So I've always been the type, like, if you have a problem with me, you have something to say to me,
Mhm.
just be like, hey, girl, look,
Yeah,
did it like this. I don't like what you did.
right.
And I'll
Just be
fix it.
straight up, yeah.
I'll fix it. I'll change my behavior. I'll do it. I'll be like, my bad. I wasn't aware. Cool, whatever.
Mhm.
So, like, if anybody comes up to me and like I said, if I don't see that the situation is in need for me,
Mhm.
I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
However, if I see you or my mans or even my best friends, like all of them, and they're about to get beat up, oh, we're going. Like, I'm going.
Yeah.
So in El Paso, there's a group,
Uh-huh.
and like we're separated by like the sides, and I'm from the Northeast.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Venturas. He is from the Northeast, So when you're from that place, you stick to your people and you
Mhm.
protect your people.
I got you.
That's how
Yeah.
we were raised. So if I have to, I will. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I feel the need to? No. That's why I
All
don't
right.
think I've ever lost my cool in that aspect. But that was the only time I could think of.
Okay. Yeah.
I was ready.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so ready. I was so mad. And I've never been that mad. And I couldn't even remember the emotions I was feeling that night right now
Yeah.
because it was bad. But other than that, I can't say.
That's good. I mean, again, that speaks to your maturity too, that it's been that long, right? And like you say, understanding that that's really not needed in this world, right? To escalate shit. We don't need that. That's
No,
not
yeah,
needed.
exactly. 100%.
Alrighty. Interesting. Yeah, let's do that one.
I was like, sorry.
If I killed somebody, would it help me cover it up?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
My degree
Easy
is
answer.
biochemistry.
Good to know.
That's all I got to say.
Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, likewise. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm always down.
I got a list.
Whoa.
I'm just joking.
Whoa.
I'm just joking.
Who doesn't know?
Exactly. You know what? She should have not looked at me. when I was getting my donut. I'm just joking.
As we just talked about
I know,
de-escalating
de-escalated all that. I know. Total opposite of what we just talked about.
I mean, we de-escalate in person, but you plan.
Like, don't know that I won't. You know, I'm just joking.
know that I'm capable, but I just won't. That's even better.
Exactly. You said no, right? Or no, you said yes.
No, oh yeah, I said I'm always down.
I would help you.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's why like girls like to watch, you know, documentaries and all that. We learn. We try to dissect everything, and we're good.
Yeah, actually, let me ask you that. I know every woman I know loves those like murder mysteries and that sort of thing. Why? Like, if you were to dive into that, why do you think that is?
You know what it is? I think it's because we like to feel to dissect everything. And we like to feel that if we get it right, we're right. Because even, I mean, me personally, when I watch like documentaries and stuff like that, I like to pinpoint what's going to happen next.
Okay.
And if it happens next and I'm right, then I know what's going to happen after that. And if I'm right, okay, cool. Then you know what I mean?
Sure.
So maybe it could be in that aspect. For me, it is because I like to be right. I mean, which woman doesn't like to be right in this nowadays in that aspect? But for me, at least. But I just like watching stuff like that, like documentaries. But I could watch like documentaries in any type of way. But I think that's what it is. I think it's the fact that we could pinpoint it. And if we're right, we could do it next time. So
you can do it next time.
I was like, we can do it next time. And then we apply our FBI skills into our real life, and then what we like to call women intuition, and then we're right. So,
all right.
I don't know. That's how I see it.
Okay, interesting take.
I know you're like, oh my god.
No, I there is something to that though, because like I say, every single woman I know loves seeing those type of documentaries where, like, you know, shit hits the fan. And I think you're right. I think it's something like trying to figure out, if you were in that situation, how would you handle it? If you were either both the victim or, you know, the oppressor, right? Trying to figure out what card is going to be played and all that good stuff. So interesting.
Because I mean, quote me if I'm wrong. Any woman loves to poke and be like, but why? How come? And why is that? Why did that person grab that paper? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Because I mean, overall, we're very observant.
Yeah.
Sometimes we could be very quiet about it, but overall, we're very observant. I mean, unless there's other women out there that I'm not aware of, but as far as like for me, I'm a very observant person, but I'm very quiet in what I am observant on. So,
I get you.
Like, I mean, it just makes sense.
Good deal. Alrighty, well, we got the timer for our first half here. So I want to turn it over real quick to our friends over at Curated Styles. Have a nice little ad read for them here. Alrighty. Curated Styles, elevate your elegance every month. Are you a discerning gentleman or gentle lady with an insatiable appetite for the finer things in life? Welcome to Curated Styles, your gateway to a world of sophistication and exclusivity. At Curated Styles, we've made it our mission to bring you a curated selection of exclusive products that match your impeccable taste. From timeless accessories and handcrafted goods to limited edition fashion items, each month we present you with a thoughtfully chosen collection of items that define refinement. We understand that your style is a reflection of your unique character. That's why our selections are as diverse as your tastes. Whether you're a dapper dresser, a trendsetter, or a connoisseur of classic elegance, Curated Styles is your ultimate source of elegant inspiration. Curated Styles, where every product, every accessory, every month is a testament to your fine taste. Choose us. Choose Curated Styles.
I low-key like that.
All right. Well, thank you again, Curated Styles. Appreciate you supporting us. And we'll move right on into the next section here. All right, welcome back to Whiskey Wisdom. Now we finished our first portion of the reading. We're a few drinks in. Now we're going to start answering your questions. So, Val is the guest. Cheers. And would you read the first one for us?
After I take this sip, yes, I will. Okay, first one. It's stuck. Oh my god. Okay, they're not. Okay. Reddit username u/strangelove 333. What is the most useful skill set a person can have?
Ooh, the most useful skill. So I think we're gonna have different answers based on men and women,
Oh,
right?
100%.
So if let's say we're in an apocalypse situation,
Okay.
two different skill sets I'm gonna look for in like let's say it's gonna be a woman in the post-apocalyptic situation with me, right? I'm gonna need her to be strong in herself, but also be able to be an emotional support because there's going to be a lot of shit going down, right? And so if she can't handle her emotions and she can't handle the things that are going on around her, that's a liability. And in that kind of situation, you can't have any liabilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna have a brother or another guy in this situation, like also has to be mentally secure in himself, but also have some sort of like handyman lifestyle, right? Where you can like make a fire, you can do those sorts of things, that sort of.
Mm.
So like when it's all boiled down to it, it really comes to survival, right? And so when you have the right survival instincts and you surround yourself with people that can have that with it, I think you'll be in good shape.
And honestly, I agree with you.
Yeah,
And the only reason why I'm saying it, but I'm gonna say it in like a different type of
sure,
verbiage.
sure.
I'm gonna say in a sense that which ex- and it's crazy because you explained relationship kind of, but the way I'm gonna say it for like a woman, it's to be able to be calm and patient.
Ooh, okay.
And we're talking about in an apocalypse as well as in a relationship.
Yeah.
And the way that how you were explaining everything in that aspect is masculine energy and
Mm-hmm.
feminine energy,
Which gets confused a lot these
which gets
days.
confused a lot these days. Which 100% every girl wants to be in their feminine energy.
Do they?
No,
Or are they
yeah.
getting confused by what's going on around?
Listen, if we're in an apocalypse and I look at a zombie
Sure, sure.
and I look at
Okay.
a zombie and she looking at me funny,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
dead. You know what I
yeah.
mean? However, as a woman, I need to be very calm and patient and be understanding, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna kill that zombie for me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna make sure that we're here alive on the outskirts. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, I just that's how I feel. Like that's how I, as far as patient and calm,
Mm-hmm.
that I would hope a skill set that I think we should, as far as like for women, because we tend to let our emotions overtake us,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something I'm learning as well. I'm not saying I'm not a victim because I am. I could be very hot-headed. I just like to not I like to make not a scene, but I would
It's
love.
good to be aware of it, though, right? The first step in overcoming something like that is being aware of it, and then when you can catch yourself in that moment, that's even more powerful,
Oh,
right?
100%. 100%. Like more so and I'm not going to lie. Before Ventura or anything like that, I was very oblivious to it. Now he calls me out on it, and I'm just standing in the corner like, I mean, you're right, but whatever.
Uh,
So honestly, now and more so, I ask him like, I don't need a solution. I just need you as a partner right
yeah,
now, and that's how we are. But
and that's super important, I think, to be able to distinguish, like, hey, like, do I need a solution or do I just need to talk to you? And as
hmm
men, we need to know that because we're wired to always find the solution, right? And that's not always what you guys want.
and see, no, and on and but you have to understand for those type because I'm gonna say it. There are type of women that have always been in the feminine energy, and there's always that have been in the masculine energy are now going into the feminine energy.
Mm.
So those who are in the masculine energy, they're not used to that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not used to that because we're used to having the problem. We have to fix the solution. We have to come up with different type of ways how to do it and all that. So for him, he was like, "No, chill. I got it." And I'm like, "No, because you're not doing it how I want to do it." So I wish at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
of everything, and even during an apocalypse, 100%, I wish I had more patience and calmness to be able to hear what I was listening to and accept it at that point.
Hmm. Okay.
That's my answer. It's more patience and calmness.
Okay. Okay.
100%.
That's a solid answer. That's a solid answer. All right. Next one here. Reddit user new-do-mondi. Would you repeat your life without making any changes? Why or why not?
No, I wouldn't.
What changes would you make?
If it comes down to like changes of what has happened to me, no, because it has helped me grow into the adult that I am now going into my 30s, and I'm very proud of that woman that I'm going into my 30s. However, get him, Cortez. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm a dog person.
He's chasing birds. I left the balcony open, so he's.
I love my babies. I love my dogs. I'm just saying it out there. Genuinely, I love my dogs.
Yeah.
But
Cortez, come here.
But for myself, as a younger, like my younger self,
Yeah.
I would have taken a break.
Yeah.
Like I went into only because in high school I was such a driven, like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do it. I was a honor roll. I got the senior award. I was the it. I should have taken that 1 year break.
Yeah.
Because going into my associates, I broke. And I don't say this a lot because it's something I'm so embarrassed about, and I'm gonna say it right now. I had scholarships and financial aid.
Okay.
I lost it because I flunked out.
Okay.
I paid my associates.
Okay.
Out of pocket. And that's when I realized that I was like, I'm not gonna get it the same way. And I wish I was more structural rather, and we're going back into the masculine and feminine, that if it was different, that I wasn't head of household, maybe it could have been a little bit different for me. And I think a lot of Hispanic families have this situation where the oldest takes care of the family and we have to adjust what we want compared to the parents and the younger siblings and everything like that. So that's the only thing in that aspect where I'm just like, okay, cool. But then not really. Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right. Man, well, thank you again for sharing that. That's big stuff.
That's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from on that. Man, for me, I know it's cliche, but everything that's happened in my life to this point has led me to this point, right? And I wouldn't be the person I am now without any of it. So, however much pain, however much, sacrifice has been made, if I were to regret something, is if I felt like I had harmed or hurt someone in the process.
Okay.
But I can confidently say that I haven't. So with that, I'm happy with where I am. And, like I say, everything that's happened to me up until now has created this and is continuing to build and create this, right? So I think I'm in a good spot.
That's good.
So no regrets.
And
no regrets.
I love that. Are you gonna get it like tatted with the no regrets?
With the A?
With the
no
A?
regrets?
No regrets. No, I get it 100%. I didn't. Can I still crumple it?
Throw yours.
Am I gonna throw it?
Do it.
Hold on.
Let's see what we got.
As a woman, it's my goal to
whoa,
win. No,
whoa.
just joking. Even with my left hand.
That's why the WNBA exists. Let's
get him right now. Okay. Reddit, /table_capital U usual. What used to be common sense? Ooh, that's a hard one because I still think I have some common sense, but apparently I don't know.
What used to be common sense?
What used to be common sense?
Genders.
Dude, you and me are on the same.
Hey, I was like what the fuck? Like, stop. Stop with this bullshit. Like, there's too much going on with that, right? All right.
With my left hand.
That was pretty baller.
With my left hand.
That was pretty baller. Not gonna lie, that was pretty baller.
That's why you need a woman. I'm just looking on your tail.
That was pretty baller, not gonna lie.
Oh my god! I wasn't even trying. That's amazing.
That was pretty baller. But yeah, no, great. I mean, and like I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face, but the thing is, like, this is really only a problem in society because we have no problems. Like, let's break it down like that. We as a society, we should be so grateful that our biggest problems are figuring out what gender you are. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, for centuries, thousands of years, your biggest problem was finding food, finding shelter. And now we're in a situation where your biggest problem is figuring out what gender you are. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't care what your belief is. I don't care what you think you are. Just know that you're, like, in a situation that for up until now has not existed. So if you feel sad, if you feel down about anything, don't. Because you're, especially here in the US and you know, many different countries, you are way more prepared for life than anybody else in history has been, yet you're still complaining. So take a moment to sit back, relax, and figure out how to enjoy this life. Because if you live your life fucking complaining about things and being a victim, you're going to have a shitty life, just as bad as the fucking cavemen back in the day. And what's the point of all of this building up?
The reason why I agree with you is because my first year, so I got my associates. I went back to ASU at 2021. Hit of COVID. We were like after COVID and all that.
Crazy.
And I had to take an environmental class. And the class that I chose was LGBTQ. I took it.
How many more letters are in there now?
He, she, they, now, when, then. But, and I'm not saying that to be rude or anything, because my whole life.
Honestly, I have to say alphabet people, because, like, that's the way. I don't know how many more letters are going to throw in.
And the reason why I can speak upon this, because back in 2005, 2005. Sorry, I said that wrong. But back in like 2005, 2006, 2007. Shout out to Pendleton Whiskey. Like, all my friends, they were gay. Like, going into 2010 in high school, they were gay. I was the only straight person. I was the only, like, truthfully, questionably, I was like, shit, am I gay? Like, goddamn. Until when experimental came, that I was like, nah. I was like, I ain't it. But all my good friends, one of my very good friends back in like high school and even college, they were there. Like, and that's why I feel like I have the leeway to be able to be like, what I had to learn in that class was, I'm not going to say ridiculous, but I'm going to say it was extensive. That should have not been extensive in this aspect. Because, listen, I understand. When you're in love, whether it be woman on woman, men on men, woman, men, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're in love. Why should we have to name it? Why do we have to be like, oh, it's a game? Like, it's a game. No. I love him. I love you. I love everybody. Should I marry them? Should I be considered, if I love my best friend, which is a girl, am I gonna, does that make me gay? No. You know what I mean? Like, going into like ASU's like philosophy of it and stuff like that, and like doing like my research, and I took a whole semester for this because I had to. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy that's even a thing.
No, it really is. To get a credit, Alex, to get where I am, yes, please. But to get where I'm at right now, to graduate, which I need, which I recently find out, but we're not going to talk about it. A little bit more credits than what I was expecting. But anyway, my first credits in ASU was controversial. And I had to explain, and I chose LGBTQ in that aspect. And it explains everything.
And this is part of
No, it's a
An
credit.
educational degree?
It's
Or what degree are you going for?
biochemistry. Biology, chemistry. This is the periodic table I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why do I have to take this? Which I feel leeway in this aspect because I've grown up with this aspect. Shit. My aunt is, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been there in that aspect. So, it's just for me nowadays, I feel, I hope it doesn't bite me back in this aspect. I just feel nowadays it gives people validation to create and to feel welcome. You've always been welcome.
Here's what I think. I think people are so obsessed with getting satisfaction without work,
Exactly.
without putting effort into anything, that they create these different things of validation that gives them that little endorphin boost, right?
Agreed.
Without putting in the work.
100%.
And so, because the majority of folks I know in that space are not hard workers. They're not, right?
They are not.
And they take the victim mentality in almost every single situation, right?
They do. Yeah.
And it's honestly it's not their fault. It's a chemistry situation. When we go back to biochem,
Exactly.
it's the endorphins being released in your brain that are being trained to give you validation and give you happiness when you're being heard, when you're being felt. And that's a society that the US is creating, is a bunch of lazy people who are having a victim mentality.
And the best way I could explain this was, and I hate to bring it up, is that when I came to Arizona, I was looking for a teacher position because I'm going for a teacher now. Well, now I'm a teacher, but anyway, this student, unfortunately, um, this person kept changing everything from he, they, who, what, her, him, all of it. I'm talking about everything.
For attention.
No, even more so what I learned back in ASU. Because back in I'm not gonna down what I had to take because they were very prescriptive of it, but they kept doing it there. But how are you gonna let this student go on a eighth grade trip to California if they've only attended 3 days out of the school year?
That's fucking wild.
However, they allowed it because they pulled a card. So, and that's my point. And that's my point. Don't get me wrong. I feel very leeway in this aspect because I was raised through it. All my friends, I could call whoever I want right now on my phone and be like, "Hey, I remember me. How are you? What's up, girl? How you doing? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Respectfully, my own grandma thought I was until I finally told her, and she was like, "Mija," and all in Spanish, and which I'll tell you the story because it's such a funny story because everyone in my family was like, "What the fuck? Did you just say that to your grandma?" And I was like, "Yeah, because that's not me. That's not me." But
that's the story.
Do you really want to know?
Let's hear it.
Okay, so I was a freshman. Okay, and like I said, I was always with my friends who were rooting for the other side. They were going for their team, and on that aspect, they're fun. Why am I going to change my aspect for that? No. So my grandma thought I was in that aspect, and I was a freshman, and I was in band. I was a geek. So anyway, I was a geek. So I played flute and all that, and a senior had asked me out, and he picked me up from my aunt's house. And I told my grandma, I was like, "I'm sorry, grandma. Me gusta la pipi." Which those which I hope in English means that I like the men's
you don't need to translate.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I was like, I don't know what I
That's
need
pretty
to do.
obvious there.
Okay, thank you. So when she like was like, he picked me up and I was like, okay, bye, and I just like dipped because I mean, again, that goes to show like I've always been around it. I've always been around it and stuff like that. So
yeah,
but I agree with you. I'm 100% on that.
I will say this though, to cap it off, right? I have a lot of friends that are in that kind of field, right?
Oh, 100. Me too, 100%.
Amazing people, and
Beautiful.
there are hard workers, right?
Oh, 100%. Agreed.
The problem I have is with the people who take advantage of that situation, right? So I'm a big one. Love whoever you want to love, fuck whoever you want to fuck, do whatever you want to do. But when you make it my problem or you make it my kid's problem, fuck you for that, right? Like, you live your life and my kids will live their lives however they will and whoever they're going to see fit. But don't fucking push an agenda on our kids because they're so impressionable. And that's why I have such a big problem with the education system in the US right now is they shut out
Oh my God, let me talk about it.
they shut out every other influence except for this.
You are so lucky you have a teacher right now.
I've seen videos.
You're so lucky.
I've seen videos in public schools of a Pride Day where you're ridiculed if you're not wearing a rainbow fucking flag, right? That's, to me, like, it. I don't know. If yeah, go for it.
Okay, so since we're talking about education, I want to address that I am a first grade teacher. Back in Texas, I was a high school paraprofessional, which means that I handled the bad kids. I'm not talking about bad kids that are like, oh my God, like, I'm not going to do the work. No, I handle the kids that told you, like, fuck you, I don't care. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry. Like, fuck you, I don't give a fuck.
Say what the fuck you want.
In Texas, I was a teacher that they handle like, I don't give a fuck who you are, bye, I'm leaving. And they came to me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Going from Texas education to Arizona education,
which is still not as, I'll say blue. It's still not as blue as most other states. But yes.
No, continue. It's not. It really isn't. It really isn't.
But here's the problem.
But no, you know what? The biggest thing that I have to say, I'm gonna say this for both aspects of Texas and Arizona. I'm like, look, I'm saying it as a teacher perspective because now I'm a first grade teacher. I love my kids. I love them. Even my trouble kids, I love them tremendously. Like, I love them and I know they could do so good. And I know all my kiddos, even my hard one, I love him. Like, he is amazing. The problem is nowadays, unfortunately, and I'm going to say as a teacher, like, it's the parents' support. The way I'm going to say this, and I hope it doesn't bite me back in my butt, is that being a teacher, and I'm a first grade teacher, okay, is that parents are not as supportive till back then they were supportive. Okay, so you have to understand, I have 8 hours of these kids.
Right.
Okay. In these 8 hours, I have to do math. I have to do ELA, which is reading, making sure in first grade. I'm just saying based off of like first grade, they have to understand that they need to read a sentence, how to write a sentence, what the sight word is, Then they have writing. How do they write the sentence? Okay. Then they have the second part of math. What is the double digit number in that aspect? And then we have science. And then we have social studies. And then we have everything else in this aspect. You know what I mean? And between the 8 hours that I have your daughter or your son, I am raising kids. And I mean that with love, and I mean that with 100% of like genuine love, that I can't teach curriculum at that point. And I really, really, really hope in this aspect. So
I know what you're talking about. And I think as parents in our next generation, we need to be careful of and cognizant of what's going on, right? Because I think a lot of parents right now don't fully understand what's being taught, what's being indoctrinated into our kids.
um, and it
And
really
some of them
isn't.
don't care because it's free childcare for them. And that's bullshit. Like that's your legacy that's being left. Why would you not put your full investment into that? So, just as an example, I spent a lot of time in Colombia in this last year, and I met a good friend who had lived in New York for 8 years,
Oh, bless
and
her.
and decided to move back to Colombia, right? So for a lot of Americans that think the U.S. is the best place in the world, that doesn't make sense, right? Right? So, uh, why would someone go from Colombia to the U.S., which is supposed to be the place of opportunity, and then return to their origin? And here's why. Because in Colombia, private education, your own selection from K to 12 to college
Oh my
is all your choice. And all for a fraction of the price of what these fucking private schools charge you here in the US.
Oh my God,
Right?
freaking stop.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's a huge problem, right? Not just as a country, but economically. Like if there's people getting better educated outside the US, the US is lost is lesser. The only thing that's holding this fucking country together is the military.
Oh,
Because
100%.
you know.
Listen, Alex, I'm like, let's be honest.
You're sitting close to you.
I like, listen, I came from El Paso base. El Paso is known for Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss is known for the military base and that aspect. Like, let's be honest. Like, and when it comes down to look, listen, I'm not talking about like parents have to be like, and given that I am a first grade teacher, 100%, I get it. I really do. Kids are a lot. They really do. I deal with them 8 hours a day. I really do. Like, okay, 100%. Like, I 100% understand that they are a lot. They really are a lot on that aspect. However, during my math lesson, when I'm teaching regrouping in math, and I'm gonna choose a student that understands what I'm teaching them, because when it comes down to a learning person, and this is what I've learned, okay, this is how I know I'm a good teacher. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, everybody understands in a visual, audio,
Tactile.
and a visual learner, which in your case is tactile, right? Okay, my kids are learning and visual. Okay. So when I'm learning all this, I have a student yelling at the top of his lungs. That I have to stop. I have to stop. Like, I have to stop the student is putting his hands on me, what do I have to do at that point? What can I do for a teacher that a student is putting his hands on me to stop from calling admin?
Yeah.
And I remember reading a report or a paper saying like we always put those people at the lowest.
The problem is teachers so subdued, they can't educate how they want. And I know so many teachers are upset but can't do anything about it. And it hurts, right?
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. Let's do one more. We'll call it.
Yes, I agree.
Alrighty. From fun_impression 9238. What motivates you in life? Oh, that's awesome.
I won. I'm sorry.
Can't wait to clip that.
Shut up. Are you gonna okay? What motivates you? For me, I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna be selfish on this.
Go for it.
I'm doing better than my brother.
All right.
I am doing better than my brother.
That's healthy competition, though, right? Because I believe that you want your brother to be as great as possible, but I also believe you want to be a little bit better. So the better he is, the better you are.
Yes. However, I was such on like on a pedestal that I was like, I'm better. I mean, which I love my brother. I really do. I supported him for so many years, but it feels good to be like, it's Valerie. You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
I'm here. I'm
feel
chilling.
I feel you.
Like, we good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm vibing right now. So I get it. So right now I'm like, it's me. So I get it. Which I love my brother. I love my brother. Don't get me wrong. But right now I love my brother. I get it.
Fucking cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Agreed.
And that concludes our episode today of Whiskey Wisdom. Thank you again for watching. Comment if you have any questions you'd like us to discuss, and we will. And subscribe.